Hey guys, what's up? And today we're going to do a quick video just going over some stuff for Endwar. For those of you who don't know, Endwar is a big HVZ invitational that this will be the second year that it technically takes place. It'll be in Athens, Ohio from June 22nd to the 24th. The important news for today is that I will be a guest at Foamcon. Now, Foamcon is the event that takes place that Friday, and it's basically a big convention where a bunch of vendors and enthusiasts get together, and then they have a bunch of tables set up, and it's really just a fun place to hang out, talk about mods, and just sort of embrace the community as a whole and go over all the different aspects. Just to read through the guest and vendor list real quick, because it's quite large for this year. I'm pretty excited to be a part of it. Foamcon was actually my favorite part of the event last year, not that the game itself wasn't fun. However, just really interacting with the community was just a blast for me, and I love talking to people about their stuff. And, some of the people came and went throughout the day. However, I pretty much stayed there the whole day just talking to people. So it's really cool for me to sort of give back to that and have a table to show off some of my stuff and really just interact with the community for a whole day. It's going to be quite awesome. Apologies in advance if I butcher some of your names. However, this year we will be having Foam Blast, Open Flywheel Project, Vobololo, Reciprocation Props, Monkeytron Collective, Project FDL, Black Steel Props, Foam Freaks, Zambona, Make Test Battle, J Nerf, Hooligan Blaster Co., Blono Nerf, Buff Daddy, Greenhouse Gear, Griffin 3D Printers, Containment Crew, Mr. Nathan, Rmods 74, Naptown Nerf, Alice Coat Dog, Naoma 01 Mods, I'm not sure who that is. It says mystery next to it, there's no link. Nerf, as in the subreddit, Nerf, Vlad, the Nerf Neko, Carius, Silver Fox Industries, Clowny, Captain Slug, Ultrasonic, Strife, Jangular, Out of Darts, Devil Z, Nerfworks, Firefox, Aeromech, Heston Systems, Blaster Core, and Drac himself. Now that's a pretty jam-packed roster of really awesome just creators and vendors and people that are really involved with the community. So I'm really happy that I could be a part of that and sort of participate this year. Now, like I had mentioned previously, this is Prism. The lights are actually broken, so that's one of the things to do for this Endwar, is to sort of do a little bit of touch-up on this guy. This was my primary for last Endwar, and it served me really well. However, there's a couple things that I'm not super thrilled with on this blaster. Overall, it is a pretty darn clean integration. However, there's a few little things that I could touch up on, so I'm thinking for this year, I'm actually going to build a whole new one. So I actually just started that the other day. It's really, barely into the project. I just chopped off the bipod area, took it apart, and then put a little bit of epoxy sculpt in here so I could sand it down and start working on the grip area. Still have to trim down the blaster. I marked out some lines where I gotta chop it, and then I'm gonna sort of file my way back to get really clean lines. I just opened another Strife off my shelf, and then I'm going to start chopping up that as well to sort of fit them together. This is an interesting integration because you really have to just basically cut all the ribbing and stuff that you see in the long shot, so it does take a little bit of work to actually really get the shells to merge in a way that a lot of other integrations you could there's a little bit of playroom. However, this one it sort of fits like a glove, so you gotta really remove a lot of material from the inside. So I'm just starting that process now, and then hopefully we will get this ready for Endwar, even though it's just starting. And then, being that I have a whole table for this year, I'm going to bring some of the other blasters that I've worked on, as well as some projects that I'm really going to try to finish before then. Mostly done with this blaster. I did a short video about it a little while ago, but it's Strife with a bunch of clear cast parts. It's a sort of white and blue metallic job. Oops. But the stock is kind of being a pain right now, so I'm just finishing that. I did touch-ups on the main blaster, which are all done, so I'm going to stop messing with that. And then once the stock is done, I can clear coat the entire thing, put all the pieces in and wire it, which is all I really have to do. I'm just waiting for the weather to sort of clear up, as it's been kind of crappy out recently. So once that sort of clears up, I can finish my paint, because this paint in particular, I'm not going to use the metallic white anymore, just because it's such a pain to work with. It took like 8 coats of this just to get right, and then I still had to touch up both sides of the Strife just because it had little spots where it sort of scraped off. So it's a Duplicolor paint too, which really surprised me. Usually they're pretty good, but for some reason, just the white, I guess, was a bad color. The blue, however, I'm super happy with, and I absolutely love how that turned out. Another project that I have almost finished is this Kronos. Now this is Hydro Dip to match my Artemis that I mostly use for HVZ. So this got clear coated the other day. It's fully dry. Now I just have to reassemble the blaster, which is pretty easy. Most of it's drag and drop, and then that should be pretty much ready to go. I've got a 3D printed jam door, and then I have a speed loader that I worked on a while ago, but I never finished, so maybe I'll revisit that and sort of finish that design and then publish that. Moving on to a few 3D printed stuff. I got a few different projects I'm working on. I actually just bought a second 3D printer, so I can print larger stuff now. So this is one thing I'm working on. I do a lot of filled worker stocks, like this one, and the one that's going to go on the Arctic Shock Strife. So I'm working on making a full 3D printed version of that stock so that I can stop buying them. But just to get the dimensions correct and to sort of also just get this out there, this is pretty much a pretty darn close replica of a worker stock, or I should say inspired by it, because there are some differences, being that the the bottom section comes in a bit further. It matches up with the stripe a little bit better, in my opinion, and then this hollowed out section is way bigger. So I'm going to finish this up. This one actually warped a little badly, so I didn't get to do the tests I wanted. However, some of the extrusions were a little weird, so I just did some very minor touch-ups. I'm printing another one right now, and then once I make sure all the dimensions are correct, I'll publish this guy as well. But it's pretty easy. It's a long print. I believe between the two sides it was about 17-18 hours. However, it's a super easy part. It basically just friction fits onto the strife, and then it has four, I used 632 machine screws, but just, two corners here, two corners here. Boom, you're done. Very easy, should be very sturdy, and a good replacement part for those of you who have a large printer. While on the topic of 3D printed stuff, I have a slug bow, which I actually printed all the parts to a while ago. I got the end cap, and I actually have all the hardware in this box. For some reason, I just have to actually finish it. I'm trying a new finishing product, which I actually tried on this strife, so the motor cover and the battery door cover, which now houses the electronics. But anyway, they're covered with a product called XTC3D, which is an epoxy, two-part epoxy coating that goes over 3D printed parts, and then you can sand it and it gets really, really smooth. So I'm going to try that for the slug bow, just so that, unlike this one, you can still see the lines a little bit. They're not too bad, but I'm going to try to polish this one up so that way you can't really tell that it's a 3D printed blaster when I'm done with it. And then I already know that that performs really well. This is actually the updated version, so there's threaded rods that run through the stock as well, to avoid what happened with my previous one. While on the topic of Captain Slug and 3D printed blasters, I started to make a Caliburn, and this is all I have. So that's literally it so far. Although unlike that one, I'm not really going to finish and paint it. I have 4 different types of plastic picked out for this. I'm going to use this light blue color, which I really like, a black, and a white. So the white will go with the blue very well, sort of similar to this, however it's a much lighter blue. And then the black will sort of be the rails and some accent pieces, so it'll contrast and look pretty cool in my opinion. I ordered the hardware kit, so I don't have to do any work for that. So once I print all the pieces, it should be pretty easy to assemble because he has pretty clear instructions. So I actually just have to sit down and put it all together. So I'm going to start printing the parts over the next few days and then go with that. The fourth material is actually also black, I forgot to mention, but I'm going to do PETG for the pieces like the sear that are load bearing because it's much stronger than PLA. And you have to print he recommends printing those at 100% anyway. So if it's good enough in 100% PLA, it should definitely be good in 100% PETG, so we won't have to worry about breaking some of those stress points. And then on top of that, I'm working on some other stuff. I'm working on that tack shotgun for my friend, which will hopefully be done pretty soon. I'm mostly done with the one side and maybe 50% with the other side. And then I just got to prime that and give it to him. And then the Bullpup Rapid Strike is sort of benched for now because I'm not really interested in running it at Endwar. So I figured I'd finish some of these blasters that I want to show off a little bit more. Plus, I'll probably throw some extra stuff in there. Like I just printed this Mega Hammer Shot turret, which I really want to make a pistol out of. So we will probably throw that, and then, I'm probably going to start 3 other projects that I won't finish before Endwar in that time frame. With that being said, if you have any particular preference for things you want to see videos on first, or projects that you really want me to jump on ahead of other ones, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to prioritize that when I make future videos. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I know that was kind of a boring short update video. However, like I said, if you have any preference for what projects you want me to work on, let me know. And I'll do my best. And then I just really wanted to announce formally that I was going to have a table at Foamcon, and I'm super pumped about that and to sort of participate more in the community aspect of that event. As always guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in another video. Not very musically talented.